Welcome to episode 2, Electric Boogaloo of the Bestie Zone. Come on. Hello. Wow. It is so nice to see you guys. Hi, it's so nice to see you. Hey. Hello and welcome to episode 2 Electric Boogaloo of the Bestie Zone. I am Jonica, and I am your best friend, and you are exactly right. You nailed it. You nailed it. Exactly. I'm wearing my Metallica shirt. I'm wearing my Metallica shirt. I grew quite fond of them, particularly Kirk from Metallica, the lead guitarist of Metallica. I love Kirk. Everybody's talking about Kirk. Because of Fortnite. Because, here's some lore drop. I'm an extremely avid Fortnite player. Am I good? I'm better than you'd think. But can I swing it with people in, ranked? No. Absolutely not. Although I will say I'm better solo. If I'm solo, like a 1v1 fight, I'm good. You start adding in multiple variables into the situation? No. Look, I'm not doing this. And certainly not with the build stuff. Don't do that. If I'm trying to do a headshot on you, don't be building a wall between us. It's annoying to me, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Also, if I ever play build, I want to, build stairs up to heaven. Build a stairway to heaven to see if I'm super up high, then nobody will know I'm here. And then somebody always finds me, and then they knock out the bottom part of the stairs, and they fall and drop all the way to my death. Guys, that's rude. Anyways, they had a Metallica themed thing. And they have Fortnite has a little a rock band Guitar Hero situation, which I'm extremely obsessed with. And for a while it was strictly Metallica songs for a hot minute. So I was at first I was man, fuck Metallica. Their songs are too fucking long. But now I'm nah, I rock with it. Now I'm rocking with it. Also at one point, I don't remember when, it was I was on stream or something. And I don't know how, but Metallica got brought up. And some dude in chat, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna fucking punch you in your face. He goes, you probably only know Metallica because of Stranger Things. You probably don't even like them because you only know them from Stranger Things. And Listen, first of all, you're only saying that because I'm film presenting and you're a bitch. That's first things first. Second of all, it's called having a dad. If you have a dad, particularly a Gen Xer dad, guess who you know? You're pretty fucking aware of Metallica at that point. Hello? And also, is it so wrong? Eddie Munson was and is extremely hot. Is it so wrong for the love of another person, because I love Eddie Munson, to like Metallica, to like the things that they love? Hello. You know, one time not in high school, in elementary school, there was a boy I liked, and I honestly, if you could put him in a lineup, I would not be able to pick him out. I have no idea what he looks like now, or his name, or really any defining qualities about him whatsoever. But in elementary school, I liked him. I was like, I got a crush on this kid. And I was like, what is he like? What is he like? And I knew he liked football. And I was like, well, we have to find like some point of connection. And I went to the library and I checked out a non-fiction book about football. I read up and I did a little research to figure it out. It didn't work. As it turns out, if you're just like reading random quotes from a non-fiction football book for children, that someone who actually has a passion for the subject they don't resonate with it in the same way. If you're just sort of saying rehearsed football lines in their direction, it doesn't make any sense. I for a very long time, I didn't like football. I see the beauty of it now. In high school, I helped film some of the football games, and I would just talk out loud. So I'm like on the field, like with the players, and I'm like watching, and I'm like, what's going on? And then somebody was always around. The coach or players were like, this is what's happening. And then it got exciting. Once you get it, you're like, oh, okay. Now you're like, oh, I understand what's happening, and that one's fun. Do I watch football? No. Not on purpose. But if it's around, I'm like, I'm locked in. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's see. What else did I do? Guys. Fuck. Oh my god. Shit. Oh shit. Sorry. Okay. You know how last time when we talked, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool as shit if I learned card magic? I was like, you know what? It's time to start fucking around. It's time to like get real with the shit, and it's time to like, pull myself up by my bootstraps and learn card tricks. So I pulled out a deck of cards, which I almost just spilled all over the place, but I now have a deck of cards, and I started learning last night some I didn't learn any card tricks. I'm trying to practice the proper way to hold the deck. And I was just messing with it right now, and I almost dropped it everywhere. But I'm figuring it out. It's very weird. You have to like you hold it in like a very particular way. And the guy who I'm learning from, whose name escapes me, I'm so sorry, but like the guy I'm learning from, he's like, oh, if you hold it like in this particular way, then it'll help for future tricks, but it like feels very unnatural. And then I'm trying to learn how to cut the deck super smooth in the air. Like not instead of like splitting the deck in two and then like putting one part on the table and then putting the bottom part now on the top. Does that make sense? Now I'm doing that, but just holding it in my hands. And it's looking pretty clunky right now. Right now it's looking pretty clunky, but I'm sure that next time that we talk, I'll be like good at that. Like cutting the cards in the air. I'll be really good at it, I'm sure. And then the time after that, I'll be full on like wizard level magician. I'm positive. What the fuck was that? I have a Mountain Dew Baja Blast can on my desk here, and it just like literally just shook right now. Either there's a ghost or an earthquake, and earthquakes don't happen here, so it's probably a ghost. What the shit, dude? One time, I had this teddy bear, like one of those cute, you'd know it. You'd know it if you saw it. It's like a very popular bear, like Rila Kuma or something like that. And I got it from an arcade, like crane game, right? And I had like this little shelf thingy on my wall, and I had him just sitting up there. And then at one point, it was like sitting there totally fine for a long time. And then like the doll, like fell off while I'm playing. And so it was like above my head and it fell off onto me, and I was like, ah, like what the And I just assumed it just fell. You know, I wasn't like, there's ghosty stuff going on, but I pretended like there was. And I was like, dang, dude, don't be throwing shit at me. Like, don't do all that, okay? And then, I'm not fucking kidding. It, like, actually freaks me out. I put it back onto the shelf. You know what I'm saying? And when it fell the first time, it, like, fell face first and then just kind of, like, slammed on the table and then fell off and onto the ground, right? The next morning, I come into that room and the bear is not on the shelf anymore, but it's sitting in my little desk chair facing the computer, sitting perfectly upright. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What do you mean? Also, I had a thing of Pop-Tarts. They were like they were like s'mores Pop-Tarts. I was like, I'd never had these before. And I got them from the grocery. This is around the same time, right? I got them from the grocery store. I didn't open them yet, and they're like in my pantry. And then I noticed that the Pop-Tart box has been ripped open, and then there's one of the packages open with a chunk bit out of it, and just laid on top. And I'm like, Bryant, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, how'd you like the Pop-Tarts? And he's like, what do you mean I didn't try them? He's like, we haven't even opened them yet. I'm like, you didn't try them. You didn't try them. Are you serious? And I guess the ghost was like really curious about the frickin' s'mores Pop-Tarts. Do ghosts eat your food? Can they do that? Because if not, what the fuck was that? What was that? Why was it eating my food? And being, quite frankly, kind of funny with the teddy bear. Like, I don't think that was like a Victorian spirit or something like that. Felt modern, like a modern ghost. It was weird. Guys, it was weird. Also, I would hear like tapping. There's like tile all over the floor, right, in that house. And normally it's like my dogs, and I heard tapping, and I was like, fuck, what is that, dude? I thought that my dogs were getting into trouble, you know? Because when they're normally like right next to us, and then if they tip-tappy off, I'm like, you guys are doing something mischievous. And so I was like, hey, and then I looked, and they were both dead asleep right next to me, and I heard the tippy-tappies, and we kept hearing the tippy-tappies, and they would be right next to us, as if like another dog, like a small dog, was in the house. Was like, it felt like a dude ghost and his dog were haunting our house. That was fucking weird. So weird. That wasn't what I was wanting to tell you, though. I was wanting to tell you. I got sidetracked because of these fucking cards. But the thing that I wanted to tell you is I got into a car accident. I'm chill. The car is chill. Bryant's less chill, but mostly chill. Yeah, we were like at a stoplight, like fully stopped. And then apparently it was like a teenager who hit us, and the teenager like got out, and apparently he said his friend was like, it's green, go, 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 go. Despite the fact that we hadn't moved, and the kid was like, shit, go, and just like gunned it into the back of our car. So our bumper's all messed up. And man, even a little bump just takes it out of you, huh? I've been tired as hell. My brain has hurt. I've had a lot of concussions in my life. I've had like 4 concussions. That's not good, right? That's probably not good. I literally, at one point, I was taking ceramics in high school. And you know those big fucking kilns? You ever see a kiln, a ceramics kiln? It's like a thing made of bricks and metal, right? And like the lid is like, no shit, it's 80 pounds of bricks held up by a little like latchy brackety type thing. And I was like reaching down deep, deep, deep into the kiln to grab a little, I remember it was a little flat ceramic boot ornament that someone had made. And I was reaching down, but my feet started to like come up off the ground because it was like really low. So like my stomach was like really on the edge of the kiln and supporting on my weight. And my elbow hit the bracket, and then 80 pounds of bricks came down on my head. And then the nurse was like all mad because it was her lunch. And she's like, you're probably faking it. And then I threw up in a trash can in front of her. She's like, oh. I was like, yeah, badge. I was like, sorry, I'm not getting hurt on your fucking schedule. But, like, next time when 80 pounds of bricks falls on my head, I'll make sure to do it when you're on the clock. Okay? Like, girly. Don't be doing all that to me, okay? But, yeah, I basically, like, anytime I, move my head around too much or I bump my head, my brain's like, we're dying again. And it's just like, it's very sensitive. So now I don't even know. Like, now I'm like, is it actually like me getting concussions and stuff, or is it just my brain having like a full-blown freak out meltdown, worried that we're having a concussion? So it's just like, well, might as well start the symptoms now, just get it rocking. I'm so powerful I can make myself have a concussion without doing anything. In other news, guys, I did finally, I hit my goal for this year of 120 movies to watch. So now I don't have to watch any more movies. No, I don't have to watch any more. Guys, I watched 120 movies. I think I'm now at 123, I want to say. I, of course, made sure that the 120th movie was extremely special. If you guys had to choose, what would it be? You know what I did? I chose 2005's Pride and Prejudice. Miss Keira Knightley. And, what's his face? Well, I don't know what his name is, actually. But, you know, the guy who played... Dude. Dude, I forget. Like, I know. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. And I know how good that guy is at the whole yearning thing. But I forget how good and to what level of perfection he does the yearning. 'Cause it is fucking insane. It is actually crazy how good he is at that. It's... I love watching people yearn so much. Yearning is one of my favorite things in the world. Like, and watching other people yearn for other people, especially when they, like, don't notice. Or, like, they don't... Not necessarily, like, I don't love you. Like, you're disgusting, you're a freak, you get away from me, and they're like, I love you. Like, not like that. I don't like that. I'm talking Pride and Prejudice here. I'm talking the hand. The hand and the little glances. The little glances up. His little tiny, like, oh, I prefer girls who read when he knows she's reading a book. Shut up. Or, you know in movies when people are like, you know, someone gets all dolled up for something, they're like, how do I look? And the other person's like, you look great. You look great. Amazing. You know, whatever. But they're like, the woman was too stunned to speak. That, I just, like, fucking... I live for it. And I really do think... I think that Imogen Heap... I listened to a lot of Imogen Heap growing up, and I feel like her music did something to my brain to make yearning so important to me. Because her music has a very particular, like... There is a yearning there. To the point where it's almost like, it's almost borderline creepy. You know what I mean? In some cases it is. I think she has one song where she's basically like, I have a perfect view watching you through your window as you're undressing. As you're undressing after I followed you home. And you didn't know this because you had headphones on and you were dancing and I was like, and now I'm watching you through your frickin' window. And I'm pretending that we get to, be together or whatever. That did something to my brain chemistry. I don't know, man. It's made me into like kind of a little bit of like I'm a super romantic, but it's made me into like a little bit of like a freak about it. Like there's something wrong with me in the way that I'm a romantic. Does that make sense to you guys? I just feels like I'm a romantic in a slightly fucked up way. Not too fucked up. Not fucked up where we're like talking about you, that one show. That's not romantic. That's just crime. That's just crime. Not in a crime way, but in an Imogen Heap way. In an Imogen Heap way. I'm a freak about romance. I love romance. Dude, I love it so much. I desperately want to be in a romance movie. I really want to be one of those extras in a romance movie where it's like there's a ball and you're one of the people at the ball. You know what I mean? Like one of the people in the little town. In the little town. Like one of the people in the little town and it's Christmas. And you're like at the diner. How fun would that be? Also, I would love to be an extra in like a Princess and the Pauper type situation. A la Barbie Princess and the Pauper, the only true version of that story. I would love to be the body double for the famous person who's playing both twins. You feel me? Like when they have to get the shot of them talking to each other and like you're just seeing the back of the head of one person, I would love to be that person. I would love that. I don't know who I could do that for. And I am covered in tattoos and that, it's not necessarily helpful in any way possible at all, but I just think we can make it rock. I think with the right wardrobe, we can make this rock. All I need is a good wig. I just need to find some girlie out there who's the same height as me. And I think we can get this thing popping. You know what I mean? But that would be my dream. And then I don't have to know any lines. Or do you? Is that how that works? Do you have to know all the lines? Because then they're like talking to you. Then maybe you like do the scene with them. But like you kind of have to know both lines for both the characters like they do. Oh, that might be too much work. Decisions. What do I do? Because I was sort of banking my whole future on getting a role like that. But that's memorizing lines. I haven't had to memorize. I used to be in theater in high school. I haven't had to memorize lines since then. And even then, we weren't really like doing plays, if you can believe it. We were kind of just sitting around mostly. I don't even understand how we got away with that, but yeah, I haven't had to memorize lines in at least a decade. Do you guys ever had to do any of those monologues? Where are all the monologue writers out there? What are we doing? Why does everything have to be so, like theater cringy bullshit? Why does everything have to be like, yeah, my life, it's pretty lame. It sucks so bad. But don't worry, I'm gonna fix it or whatever. And then like, they have like a whole monologue breakdown and they like cry at some point and they're like, it's probably fine. And then, or it's like you can only find monologues about like being a divorcee. But you're like 14 you've never kissed anyone before. You have no idea what it feels like to have someone actually like you back, and now you're now you're doing a monologue as if you're a 40-year-old woman who's like having to start anew. And like, where are all the good monologues at, guys? Where did we put them all? Because what is going on? Ain't nobody writing monologues for children. You know? Like, it's all so weird. And like, I think that's part of the reason why I was like, I'm not pursuing this. I was going to. I was like, I should be an actor. I should do it. And I was gonna do it, but yeah, every time I was like, let's find something to like work on, like build this skill up. It was like the cringiest, most dumb monologue you could ever possibly conceive. And then, you know, at that point I was like, is this what it is? Is this all that we do in the theater world, is just do cringy monologues? And I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to. I think I'm good. And I could still do it if I want. On my own terms. I'll make a movie myself, starring me. And I'll do one of those things where it's like, directed by Jonica, starring Jonica, produced by Jonica, editing by Jonica, music by Jonica. At that point, I don't know. The credits should just say your name and that's it. Not even the title. If you've done everything, why are you even putting credits at that point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point if you're gonna list your own self over and over and over again? What are the feelings on that? I feel like it's stupid, and it feels like snooty to me. This I promise you, if I ever make a feature film, directed, starring, produced, and edited, music by me, that the credits will just be a picture of my beautiful face. That's all it'll be, and it'll be beautiful. Shit, my phone's going off. Get out of here. Now, listen, here's some of the other movies I watched, because of course I watched a lot. Now I'm up to 123. Where were we at before? I don't even remember. All I know is that I don't think I was quite at 100. There's no way I watched 100. There's no way I watched like 20 movies this week. Dude, I don't know. 10 movies I could see, but 20 movies, I feel like that's crazy. Another movie I watched, because now we have our list. We have some movies. These are the highlights, guys. These are the highlights. First of all, I watched The Da Vinci Code, starring Mr. Tom Hanks. You guys ever see that one show where it's like all the Nepo babies, like the family members of famous people, like show up to the thing with the Jonas Brothers, and then like they have to like hide who their celebrity family member is or whatever, but yeah, whatever. Long story short is that Tom Hanks' niece was there, and when she got kicked off, she had like a major meltdown, and I was like, oh. I think her dad might be Jim Hanks, and Jim Hanks does a lot of like voices for like Woody and stuff from Toy Story, for shit that Tom Hanks is like, I'm not doing this for like a video game. You know what I mean? But she had like a diva meltdown, and it was actually like so fun to watch. It's so fun. But yeah, I watched Da Vinci Code, and all the reviews on Letterboxd, everyone fucking hated it. I don't know, maybe I'm like really easy to please, but people were like bitching about that. And I'm like, what more do you want though? What more do you want? Sorry, there's mystery, there's intrigue, there's blasphemy. There's proof that Jesus fucked in this movie. Guys, there's proof that Jesus went to Bone Town in this movie. That's, I mean, what are we dogging on? You know what I mean? what are we talking about exactly? Also, Paul Bettany acting like a damn freak. With that thing on his leg? What was that? That little claspy, it was like a claspy metal thing that was like digging into him. Do people do that? Do people do that for religion or just in general? What is it? Why? Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Ew. Stop. All I'm saying is, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Why is everyone being so rude about the fucking Da Vinci Code? Hello. I need to watch the sequel, dude. I fucking love that movie. I fucking love that movie. And yeah, maybe I am easy to please, but like, what do you not like? I'm sorry, what do you not like? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't fucking get it. Gandalf's in it, and he's evil, kinda. Spoilers, he's evil, kinda, I think. No, he is. Or, is he? He's like, I don't know. I think he's supposed to be evil, but I was kind of like on his side a little bit. I think he was like, oh, well, we have to make the whole thing about Jesus's lineage and the fact that he had children public knowledge to destroy the church because the church is bad. But he's evil? And I was like, no, I feel like he's onto something. You know what I mean? I feel like he's onto something. I don't get it. And of course he says, "You shall pass," or whatever. Of course. And I was wondering, do you think he gets paid more if they're like, can you do a Gandalf thing? What if you did a little callback to Gandalf? Do you think he's like, oh yeah, absolutely, that'll be $1 million. Yeah, I can do that for $1 million. Because if I were him, that's what I would do. And then I bet you people are like, easy. I thought you were going to ask for more. But that movie's good. And everyone who says it's not good is a fool. Okay? Look, there was one movie I did not like that I watched. So I watched, what is it, Bullet Train? I did like that. I watched Bullet Train, and it has Aaron Taylor Johnson, hottie extraordinaire. He was in The Book Thief, I think? Oh my god. Aaron Taylor Johnson. And the stranglehold he had on me as a child when he was in The Book Thief. And whoever the guy who was like the actual thief guy. Oh my god. They were so fucking cute. It's insane. But Aaron Taylor Johnson is in Bullet Train, and he's like really good in that. He's like funny, and he's like actiony or whatever. And so, listen, I don't know who the fuck Kraven the Hunter is. And so I saw Kraven the Hunter, but I'm like Aaron Taylor Johnson. And from the little clip, it looks sort of like he's kind of like a hitman type guy, like an assassin. I thought like this is sort of just like really basic action movie type thing. It's not, apparently. It's like it's a superhero movie, like within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who's that even? And I guess he's kind of like a villain guy. Or maybe it's not Marvel. It might be the Sony Spider-Man universe. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And like, I think like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe. And I guess Kraven is like, essentially, he's like a guy, his origin story is that he gets like mauled by this big fucking lion because his dad's a hunter or something, and they're like out hunting lions, I guess. And this lion is like, cool, I'm gonna eat you. And then basically does, for the most part. Like, just really fucks his whole shit up. And then, what's her face? Calypso or something, who's also a villain, and also apparently Kraven's part-time lover. And she's played by like that one girl who had like Jamie Lee, my woman king, or something like that. Like, she did something weird at a at an award show. But essentially, her as a little girl finds this kid all mauled, and she has some like magic potion, and she gives it to him. And I got the idea that it was like he's as strong as a lion, but like, okay, so he's like really strong, sure, but he is sort of like climbing walls and shit like a spider. And last time I checked, lions can't do that. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, what is his situation? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm wondering. And guys, it was really weird and bad. And the bad guy is this dude who's called the Rhino, who looks like an uber dweeb. And all he does is he just keeps, will you be my partner? Will you be my partner? With no explanation as to what the hell he's talking about. He could be asking them out on a date. He could be, let's go partners in a cupcake business, or let's take over the world together. So I don't know what he's asking. But all he says is he goes up to these mobster men and he goes, you want to be my partner? And they're like, get the hell away from me. And then he's like, what the fuck? And then he like gets mad and kills them. But like, he's not explaining himself. And I'm not sure if he did ever explain himself. At one point he was just hissing. He's like sitting in a room. He's sitting in a room in his human form. And then like his henchmen come up and he's like, hey boss, yeah, so this is going on right now. And he literally goes, okay, for sure, I'll get right to that. It was like, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's happening? It was very weird. And then I guess Craven's brother is another dude named the Chameleon who can just change his voice, which also was fucking bizarre when his first introduction is him singing and sounding exactly like Harry Styles. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Maybe it would have been better if I had any frame of reference for any of these characters, but I didn't, and it was very strange. And also I was confused that he's a bad guy, but like he's like Craven is a bad guy, but he just basically goes and like kills poachers who are like killing animals unnecessarily. And so doesn't that make him cool as shit? I don't understand. What are we doing? Like he's the bad guy. Okay, I guess, if you say so. Also, at the end, apparently his dad does kill that lion and then, I guess, makes him a little delicate vest out of it with an extremely floofy lion fur collar. And so he wears that at the end. He, like, takes his shirt off, which I don't understand why we weren't doing that before. This is, like, the last 2 seconds of the movie. His abs are, like, shredded to high heavens, dude. And we're gonna wait this entire time? Okay, whatever. So he takes his shirt off, and then he's like, let me put on this vest my daddy who I hate made me. And then he like sits all like, like in a chair with the stupid vest on. And then the movie ends. And I was like, so what the fuck? Like, what was that? That one I was like, this one's not agreeing with me. And I will say this, I love bad movies. I love them, but it wasn't camp. It wasn't moving into camp. It was just bad. And I was just confused the entire time. You want to be my partner? What if we were partners? Wait. What if we were partners? I watched another movie that also didn't make a whole lot of sense. It didn't help that I couldn't find it I couldn't find it with subtitles, which really complicates things from my end as someone who barely can keep up without subtitles. I watched Possession. You guys know Possession? Do we got any film nerds in the house tonight? In the house tonight. Just put your hands up. Just put your hands up to that sweet, sweet sky. If you're fucking with Possession, dude. In that subway scene. The subway scene is the scene, right? Come on. But that movie, the main woman has a very thick accent. So that did complicate things for me a little bit in understanding what's happening at all. But, you know, if you haven't watched Possession, I definitely would do it. I think it's worthy to watch. I think that one is a good one to sit down, pop in, blast your speakers, get that real loud, and maybe invite your mom over. And it could be like a nice like family experience to watch Possession. Imagine one of you were like, oh my god, no way. No, yeah, you know what? Let me pause right now and I'll absolutely do that. Little did they know that movie is 90% moaning. And I mean like moaning. I'm talking porn star moaning. It's intense. And then at some point she's just like fucking this big monster puppet, dude. And like it's a lot, guys. Listen, there's a lot going on in that. If you're talking about a movie for a pervert and freak, baby girl, come on down to the Pervert and Freaks Club and watch Possession with me, because like that is one of the pervert movies of all time, I think. And I love it. Also, I think it's just worth it to watch because the main actress, I mean, she's fucking like one of those people who's mesmerizingly gorgeous. Like, you just want to stare at them. There's some people who are like so pretty you just want to look at them. Like, put them on your desk like a vase of flowers so you can just wistfully stare at them. Like, I don't even want to do it. It's not even like a sexual thing. They're just so aesthetically beautiful that I need to look at them like I would look out into the Grand Canyon. She's one of those people who's that beautiful. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And then the last movie, this movie went right up into my top 4 because I was like so fucking psyched about the set design. And if you haven't watched this, dude, it's so fun. It's called Dave Made a Maze. It is just like the whole set is just cardboard. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like this guy who makes a maze out of cardboard, like a cardboard fort, but it's like this giant labyrinth. And it is insane. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I was like, how the fucking fuck did they do this? And it has Miss Girl from Criminal Minds. Miss Girl, who's like blonde, and she's like my soul sister in terms of presentation. Less so in personality. She's me if I was like any more millennial. That's who I am. Is Miss Computers. But she's in it. And one of the dudes from OK Go is in it. I love OK Go. And for a long time I thought that the dude who is in OK Go, who's in this movie, I thought he was the singer for a long time. And I was like, maybe he's not. Because in the music videos they like all will sing, like all the members. And I thought it was like the dude with like the black beard. I was like, he's got like stage performance. Like he's got like something about him, like a je ne sais quoi. Like he has to be the lead singer. And then I like saw OK Go in concert and it's not him. It's not him, which is fine. And it's fine and it's cool and it's good. Anyways, he's in that movie. But yeah, oh my god. It's a beautiful movie. And I'm obsessed with cardboard art. Obsessed. I like 100% need to figure that shit out. 'Cause like if I could have my whole room made out of like cardboard art, I would be like, oh my god, just over the moon. I would be like so happy. It would be the best day of my life. So Dave Made a Maze. That one rocked its way right up into my top 4. I had to knock out what's its face. What was it? It was like this really great. I don't know if I've like explained to you guys my top 4. My top 4. So on Letterboxd you have top 4. Your top 4 favorite movies of all fucking time. And my top number 1 is 100% Hamlet 2. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. I fucking love that movie. It is literally so good. It's funny. The lead guy, I want to say Steve Coogan or something. That dude is fuckable as shit. As shit. And then, God, what is it called? Life in Oblivion? It's like a Steve Buscemi film. It's like, oh my god, guys, Steve Buscemi yearns in that movie. It's like, oh my god, it's like crack watching him yearn. It's unreal the way he does it. It's like so good. It's like literally so good when he yearns. Some people like, oh my god, I don't know. It's just like he like captures like this like sweet and like kind of pathetic thing about him. I would so happily let Steve Buscemi yearn over me. I would actually die. I would be so happy if that could happen, honestly. I'd be so happy. Anyways, another movie I watched that was in my top 4 was Dead Talent Society. That's what it was. And it's I think a Taiwanese horror comedy thing about like when you die, you become a ghost. And in order to like stay relevant and kind of around, you have to like essentially build up your own urban legends and like get kind of like celebrity status as a urban legend. So like Bloody Mary, for instance, would be like the top of the top in the ghost world, in like celebrity world. And that movie is so beautiful and it's so funny. And I'm so sorry, but you've been dethroned. You've been dethroned for Dave Made a Maze. Oh, the other one that moved in was stop motion, which we talked about last time. And that movie's freaky and weird, and I fucking love it. I really like movies, guys. I love movies. I love talking about movies. It's so fun. It's so fun. Although I've never, like, sat around and had discussions with film bros. I've heard of discussions with film bros. And I'm worried if I ever run into a film bro, they'll make me hate movies. But maybe I'll make them hate movies so there's more room for me. I'll, like, ruin movies for them some way. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I feel like if I ever do run into a film bro, just watch out. If you're a film bro, you don't want to talk to me about movies, baby. You can't handle all this. I will destroy you and your passions. I will destroy you and your passions. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Guys, that's it for today. I'm done yapping. It's over. It's done. Get out of here. Little housekeeping. If you're following if you're listening on Spotify, please rate and follow. It really helps out a lot. And thank you so much to the people who have already. 1,000,000 forehead kisses for you. Same goes for YouTube. You can subscribe and like and comment on it and all that sort of stuff. Apparently, the little thing I used to put it onto Spotify, I thought I would put it on all podcasting forms, but it did not put it on Apple. So if you're an Apple user who's like been punching the air for the last week because you haven't been able to get that rocking, I promise I will fix that soon. Or just be cool and just get Spotify already. Okay. Yeah. If you want to follow my letterbox, it's the Jonica Zone. All of my other things are Jonica Zone. This zone that we are here together in is the Bestie Zone. Everywhere else, I'm always inhabiting the Jonica Zone, if you will. The Bestie Zone is in the Jonica Zone. That's for sure. But, like, the Jonica zone exists outside of the Bestie zone. The Bestie zone only exists within the Jonica zone. You feel what I'm saying? Absolutely. Okay. I love you guys literally so much. I say that every single time and it's not true. I fucking hate you. No, you're literally disgusting. You're so gross. I'll see you later. I'll see you later, baby.